Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 872, Sharp and Lightish Red, recorded live on November 11th, 2023. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
I'm your other co-host, Godzilla T.
And we are back with another Saturday episode. Not that we're going to change it, but we're kind of lonely here on Twitch. I think people are still kind of adjusting to the Saturday thing, and also being Saturdays is people are typically a lot more busy. So,
a lot more or a lot less?
Well, either way. With it being holiday season, it's probably
by 5 o'clock on Saturday, I'm pretty much done for the week.
For some people. Some other people are like, hey, let's go out on Saturday night. It's like, not my thing.
Can't argue with it. I mean, after this, we're headed out to dinner anyway. So.
There you go.
Because neither one of us wants to cook.
Fair enough. But we have a few different things that we're going to be talking about on this episode. We've got the upcoming Combined Arms event happening next week. 343 released a little Fear the Pink Mist teaser for next week, showcasing the hero rank insignia, but with needler effects and colors, which looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a really, really cool little video. I liked it.
Yeah. I think someone said Pixel Flare actually worked a lot on that one.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Or the key art. Or both, maybe. I don't know. But that is coming in on November 14th next week. So that will be dropping on Tuesday. Runs for 5 weeks through December 19th. Has a full 20-tier operation pass. So this is the new kind of pass system that we talked a little bit about on the last episode with how they're changing the battle pass system. And this will be a full 20-tier thing, kind of its own thing going on. Rumor is this is also when the new firefight mode is possibly dropping in the season as well. We'll have to wait to see if that actually happens. Fear the Pink Mist, I don't know if that's going to infer some other maybe game mode that they're dropping with, or maybe some custom Fiesta variant or Slayer.
I'm thinking there's going to be some type of Needler playlist.
Needler themed, yeah. I saw someone mention, I forget who, I think it was on Reddit, but someone wanting to see the Needler rifle come back. It's like, that'd be cool if they just dropped that as a weapon.
I wouldn't argue with it.
I think it would fit in Infinite Sandbox.
Yeah. Be a lot better than some of the other ones they've got in there. Although I am enjoying the tweaks that they've made to the Bandit. It feels a lot better to me.
The Evo Bandit or just the regular Bandit?
The regular Bandit. They made some. Okay. They tweaked some stuff on the regular Bandit too.
Okay.
It just, it has a much better feel to it now than it did before. Before I just couldn't hit anything with it, not consistently. Now I'm actually feeling proficient at it.
Okay.
To where I will actually pick it over the sidekick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they tweak some aiming mechanics with it.
They did tweak red reticle range on the Bandit. And of course they brought the Evo in, which has an actual scope, which helps. It should have been there to begin with, but not exactly. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for putting a scope on the Bandit, but I really don't like the scope. The visuals of the scope. I mean, it works fine. It's just, I don't like the way it looks. I'm just used to the little dot.
Yeah. They're working on it. I mean, 343 has been making strides on tweaks and changes, and everyone's been very happy with it so far. It seems
like. I can't argue with it, other than I'm not getting my campaign DLC. Anyway.
Yeah, people are still not happy about that.
Well, there's a lot of people in the just general gaming realm that aren't happy about a lot of things here lately.
Yeah.
Corporate needs to pull their butts. Never mind.
We can save that for another episode. That's a whole other discussion. We've kind of
Of
briefly
course,
talked
that's
about
pretty
it,
much that pretty much applies to all of corporate America, not just the gaming industry.
True. That's a good point. So we've got the event coming up next week. Not sure what the Fear of the Pink Mist is, but we love the Needler here. Team Bubble Bath. Great game type. We should actually make that in Infinite.
Ooh, we can do that now.
We can.
You think we can get Infinite to crash?
No, I think it's too powerful. Like, I think even
I don't
24,
know. 12v12?
we can try. We can try it. Sure. We could go over to Forge Up and say, hey, we need a small little Forge contest.
They've already got the map. All we have to do is put the crates in it and change spawn points.
I mean, yes, if we want to go with the classic style it was on.
It's got to be classic. I mean, really?
Zanzibar or Last Resort. I mean, you could make probably a customized Team Bubble Bath type experience.
You could, but it wouldn't be the same. Probably be more fun.
Okay, Team Bubble Bath Evolved. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I would like to see, and I don't think I've seen it, a classic Husky Raid map. Literally 2 boxes with a path between them. Just like old school.
Are you talking about the one specifically from like Halo Reach and Halo 4 that we used to play?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Okay.
You know, none of this up and down hills, just a straight shot from one to the other.
I can't remember. Was the like original Husky Raid? Because the ones I'm remembering from,
well, the one when
like the Halo 4 game nights.
Yeah, when I first
it had the down slope and
no. Before that,
really,
this was in Reach.
So it's probably Reach.
Yeah,
awesome.
It was basically just 2 boxes in space with a path between them and no railings.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, the new ones are fun, but they are nowhere near as chaotic as that one was.
I feel like in a way they are kind of more chaotic because there are the little places where you can kind of sneak in and out.
No. It's not, don't get me wrong, they're fun. I have a blast playing them, but it's not the same.
That's fair. Well, you can forge it. It literally doesn't take too long to just create 2 boxes in the pathway.
Yeah, I couldn't forge anything to save my life.
You probably could.
No,
They have the snap stuff in Infinite Forge too.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I haven't touched anything. I haven't really touched Forge that much since like Halo 3. I played with it a little bit in Reach, and I've made a couple of just stupid maps. But yeah, I really haven't touched it. I fired it up. Matter of fact, I still have achievements to get in it. The Halo 5 Forge. And
me too. Yeah.
Of course, the last time I tried to launch it, it wouldn't even. I don't even think I could even make it into the game.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not a forger. I love enjoying Forge content though. So thank you to all the forgers out there.
There is so much Forge content. I wish we had larger lobbies so we could fill up a full 24 lobby and play some of these experiences.
No kidding.
It's almost like, okay, I just need to hop in some of the other communities just to experience some of these things because there are so many remakes of maps and experiences. There was something I saw today where someone made Helm's Deep in Infinite, and there's people have already started making their own firefight game modes in Forge.
Yeah, it's
the Installation 04 firefight map that was introduced as part of the CE anniversary release for Reach. Someone remade that exactly in Halo Infinite Forge, and that's a firefight map now. The AI has taken Forge to a whole another level.
Oh yeah,
there's not enough time to play all the content.
Just like not really firefight maps, but they are maps that incorporate AI into the normal gameplay. It's an interesting twist.
In the Forge features that was released this week, someone made a Pokemon arena. And you basically have a pool of points and you purchase which AIs you want to be on your team. And then it's 5 rounds and the AIs fight each other. And whoever gets the most points at the end of the 5 rounds, they're basically the winner.
Yeah.
You can do that in Forge.
Mm-hmm. Blows your mind, doesn't it?
You can have a point system and purchase things with points inside the game.
There's multiple. There's actually, I've seen multiple firefight maps that take advantage of that as well. Between rounds, you can go into upgrade weapons, purchase new weapons, increase damage of the weapons. So yeah, it's it's wild what they're doing in Forge nowadays.
Yep, there's a Halo 5 Rocket League now in Infinite Forge. There's still remakes of maps. The latest ones.
I'm waiting for. I'm actually kind of holding my breath to see if anybody takes on continuing the campaign story just on their own. Creating missions. Campaign style missions.
Yeah. At that point, I think it's more just experiences than campaign, because the campaign, you need the narrative and the dialogue to go with it.
Like I said.
So you could create like a scenario where you're rescuing another fire team or squad, or taking on another stronghold, being a stronghold. You could do something like that, but you can't actually.
Yeah, I know you can't actually make a campaign level because you can't control dialogue or anything like that. But something like a campaign experience.
Yeah, true. People are already doing it. It's basically here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have that custom. I mean, you can do it at a point because you do have kind of you can customize your objective descriptions.
Yeah, you could.
I mean, yeah, it's not voice acting, but I mean, you could tell a story that way as well. Just be a really short one.
Sure. In a very limited scope. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It could. Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work. So have you played Extraction? Gotten your fill of Extraction?
Actually, I had a lot of fun with it.
Good. I know you all played a little bit of it last night.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's an extraction zone. So you can kind of choose where the extraction device is.
I felt like you could do that in Halo 4 a little bit too.
No, it was preset. You walked up to a terminal to start extractions.
Okay, so I guess it's
or there was a very small area that you could start the extraction at.
You could turn and kind of place the extractor kind of close to it. So yeah, I guess there's a little bit more of.
In Infinite, you have a much bigger area where you can actually plant the extractor, so you can actually put it behind cover.
It's a lot more like a hill, and you place the extractor in there. Yeah.
But all in all, I had a lot of fun playing it last night.
Good. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's been very well done. It's just as much fun as it was in Halo 4, if not more. Sometimes the infinite physics get you. But anyway.
Yeah.
But all in all, I really enjoy the game type. It's a lot of fun, and I'm glad that they did a lot of hard work on that to make it that much fun. Finally got to play the new map.
Which one?
The Blamite map. I forget what the name is.
Prism.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two new maps. Good.
But nobody shot any Blamite. Oh shit.
It doesn't.
Well, honestly, for me, I never got into a particular instance where I could have used that.
Mm-hmm.
My intention was to actually shoot one to see how much it takes to get them to set off, but I got so involved in the game I forgot all about it. And I think that's a big part of it. People get into the game and they forget that this is an interactive map. Yeah.
And I think one of the things with the Blamite on the map is, it's there. It has to be like very situational. Like, okay, this person is standing close enough to it where if I can blow this up, I know it'll do a fair amount of damage. And is that worth the trade-off of spending your ammo to shoot the Blamite or to just actually shoot your target?
I think it's something like that is because most of the Blamite deposits that you can shoot are in places where you can use like the corner for cover. So if you're watching your radar, you can see somebody approaching. You can shoot the Blamite at the beginning of the fight and maybe get an advantage.
You could, and it depends on like when in the fight you're actually in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool little feature. If you get a clip off of it, great. At least it's not a make or break thing in the map where it gives one person a really distinct advantage. And you can avoid it if you're paying attention too. It's not that difficult. I think it shoots out about the equivalent of maybe half of a needler round. I think. It's a really pretty map though.
Oh, yes, it is. I mean, as far as having interactive elements, I think I like that. Granted, I haven't actually used it yet, but I think I like that better than the stalactites on
Waterworks. There's something about the stalactites though, where it's like, okay, you have to get the timing. Like, you rarely could get something with it, but if you got something that was like the, oh my gosh, I just did this moment.
Yeah, that's another one. I haven't even done that on that map yet, and I've played it a dozen times. I keep forgetting they're there.
Yeah, they're not used as much. With the advanced movement and mobility, you just have to get lucky and really plan it. Probably have to do it several times just to get one actually to work.
I actually haven't even looked to see where they were placed on the map.
I know I've looked before. I haven't looked since.
I haven't looked up. Okay,
it's been a while.
I've only.
Well, which is funny because you normally look up because
there,
you're looking up.
Shoot.
You're looking up at the platforms because that's where some of the power weapons spawn, and those are just overlooks for both sides of the map.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily look at the ceiling.
Yeah,
you know, I'm looking for that sniper glint poking over the edge of the railing.
Exactly. Extraction is fun though. I think it's a great successor to the mode that we got in Halo 4. I've seen some back and forth on thoughts about it being a competitive game mode.
I can see that.
Some comments I've seen against it are with a lot of the other different game modes that are objective based. You have a lot more of a risk or disablement reward type thing. So in Capture the Flag, the one that's running the flag doesn't have a weapon. Same thing for Oddball. In King of the Hill, you actually have to be in the hill, so you're restricted into your movement. Where Extraction is, you place a thing, you can run and defend it. So there's some folks out there that aren't too keen on the idea with it being a competitive mode, just because there's not enough risk associated with the objective.
Well, I think that's probably something they could tweak to where someone you do the plant, but for the extraction to complete, you have to have somebody within the circle. You know, you have to have a player near the extraction point.
That's an interesting idea.
You know, it's like, to plant the bomb, you have to be in the bomb circle. Or to capture the flag, you have to have somebody carrying the flag. I think that could work. Will they? Who knows?
I can't remember if Extraction was in the competitive scene. I thought it came in for a season in competitive during Halo 4. I don't remember exactly. But I think if they can test it out with some kind of open style competitive events. I know the beginning of the next season is probably going to come in the January-February timeframe, similar to how it did for year 2 of HCS. So if there's a couple of open events or tournaments that can mess around with it just to see and get the feedback from the pros on how it feels, it could be a very interesting game mode to see. I mean, it's kind of similar to the territories aspect of it. I know territories wasn't really played competitively in Halo's history. So that might be a reason for it to maybe not come into the competitive light for Halo Infinite. But I would definitely like to see pros actually play it in a tournament setting, or just see it in a tournament setting in general. And it seems like Tashi and everybody there has been very open and receptive to feedback on all the different parts of competitive. Even with Halo 5, even though Halo 5 and competitive, a lot of people said that 343 didn't do it well. They still were trying to get things right with Oddball, even though they had to pull it out the first season they introduced it in, and then eventually they
there was
work well.
Some minor glitches there.
It feels like with Infinite, though, they do have the ability to adapt a little bit more quickly. They are more poised to take feedback and actually operate on the feedback. And since the HR shuffle earlier in the year, they've been a lot more agile to changes, a lot more receptive to changes. Doesn't hurt to try. And I would like to see them try. I think more, and you can only go so far with it, because in a series of 5, it's okay, you have your Slayer and 3 other objectives. You don't get too much more crazy outside of that, but it is cool from a viewership perspective to see these other game modes played in a competitive setting. So I would just like to see that.
Yeah. I'd kind of like to see Dominion come back, but that's just me.
What game mode?
Dominion.
That's a fun social mode.
Yeah. I think that would be a good ad for BTB.
I'm sure you could forge script that.
Oh, I'm sure you could. But, I mean, having it something in the actual matchmaking, that's...
I mean, the community just needs to make it and needs to be popular enough to get in there. I mean, there's been several other community things that have already been through that in Infinite, and that just needs to be forged and garner enough attention.
I just don't know if you can... Again, I'm not a forger, and the forgers are probably going to start screaming at me after this. Oh, yeah, you can do this. Is the auto turrets.
Oh, that's already been done. I've seen videos of forge maps where there's auto turrets.
In the same sense as we had before, to where...
Yeah, it's like it shoots one team and not the other.
No.
You have to destroy them and rebuild them.
You have to progress so far before you can enable them.
Oh. I mean, with the whole points system and scripting, I bet it's possible now.
But that would be something else I would like to see. Someone make a Dominion mode. And no, you don't have to recreate Longbow to do it. Not a really big fan of that map anyway.
It had its niches.
It had its niches, and about the only one it was really good for was Dominion. Every other game type did not play well on that one.
I thought there was one other one that did.
Well, there was multiple maps that they played Dominion on. It's just
there was one
one-sided.
I don't think it was territories. It was something zone related. I thought there was another game mode that worked well on Longbow.
Yeah, I think it was like a capture the hill mode, something like that.
Yeah, some territories.
They played
or
extraction
like
on it.
It may have been King of the Hill or something like it.
Mm-hmm.
Was there? There was. Oh wait, there was a different kind of like King of the Hill like variant in Halo 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember what they called it.
All right, Halopedia. Halo 4 game modes. What do we got? Has maps on that page. Doesn't have game modes. That might be something to add to the page. So there's Dominion.
Not mods.
Mods? What?
I fat fingered.
Oh. Here you go,
I was typing modes and I typed mods.
The Halo fandom wiki, which is apparently dead, still has more detail. Infinity Slayer, Big Team Slayer, Regicide, Oddball, Capture the Flag, Flood, Dominion, Extraction, King of the Hill, Team Slayer Pro, SWAT, Snipers, Griffball, Regicide. I guess it was King of the Hill. I think that one played well in it too then.
I remember playing Regicide and getting my one and only Skulltacular, or whatever the hell they called it. where you deposited 10 skulls at once.
Oh, yep.
And that was sheer dumb luck. I'm not
I
joking.
got a few of those.
I got it once.
That's a game mode that... Oh, could you actually support that in Infinite? I don't know if you could. That might be a good test.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to make a skull pop out of their head.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, you have to have someone drop something and then pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Time to make a tweet. Hey, Halo Forgers. Who's made Regicide?
Yeah, I think...
or challenge. Make Regicide in Infinite. I'm going to post that now because that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I just managed to get lucky. I killed someone that happened to have, like eight skulls. And I drop down, pick them all up, and then the capture point spawns right there where I'm standing. I'm like, cool. Because there was like 47 other players headed right for me. And they were close enough I could see them on the radar.
Yeah.
All I could see was red dots, and I was scared.
Yeah.
Talk about putting a bullseye on your chest. Collect 10 skulls.
That's the point.
Wants you then.
That's the point. And then have you played the other map yet?
There was another game mode they had where it was a free-for-all, and as you got more kills, if anybody killed you, you got their points. What was the name of that?
You got their points. This is in Halo?
Yeah.
You're not talking
it wasn't Regicide. It was
no, what Regicide was
or maybe it wasn't.
That the skull one?
No,
I think it is.
Was a skull one.
No, Regicide is the one where you're the king.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. It is Regicide.
What was the skull one then?
What was it? Headhunter.
There we go. Okay. Now we got our names right. Sorry.
Too bad Vince isn't here to pull up the bingo card and mark down, hey, the hosts get the Halo fact wrong.
Anyway.
So have you played the other map either?
Yes, I have played the other map. What
are your thoughts on that one?
Mixed.
Okay. I'm curious to hear your thoughts because, well, yeah, I'll hear your thoughts out before I say mine.
still trying to figure the map out. It's not as intuitive as a lot of maps are. I mean, aesthetically, it looks pretty good, but still working on figuring out how to play it. Okay. I've played it a few times in Super Fiesta, which that plays totally different than any other game mode anyway. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to go with yet to be determined.
What are your pros and cons of the map? Or do you feel like you have any?
I really don't. I really don't have a solid opinion of it yet. Because like I said, the only time I've played it's in Super Fiesta. So that plays totally different than any other game mode. And in Super Fiesta, it is the wrong place to be evaluating a map.
That's fair.
Because the game mode dictates play style. And it doesn't really matter what map you're on. Whatever weapons you have determine how you play the map. Not necessarily the physical layout of the map.
Sure.
But I plan on jumping into just some regular Slayer and stuff and seeing how it plays. And we'll go from there.
Okay. Should I say my couple pieces on it, or should I hold off until
if you want? Go ahead.
So, I don't know if this is just me and my playstyle in general, or if this is something specific to the map and is one of the downfalls or maybe pitfalls of the map. But the verticality and the way that you can get cut off from moving to certain parts of the map from other parts of the map is really confusing and also kind of frustrating at the same time, because you're you get stuck on a certain part of the map and you want to try to get somewhere, and then you have to run pretty much halfway around the map just to get to a point where you can get to where you want to go, depending on what part of the map that you're on.
Yeah, I can see that.
So when it comes to objectives, when you're trying to cut someone off or trying to run an objective, you're either stuck in a place where you have to, well, you're basically at a dead end at that point, or you get to a point where you just can't, you have no hope of trying to participate in recovering the objective or defending an objective because you're literally, it's going to take you 20 seconds just to re-engage in the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not a very objective friendly map. I mean, for Slayer, okay, it plays pretty decent for Slayer. Granted, Super Fiesta, I've played regular Slayer on it.
Yeah,
I could see doing a free for all on it. That probably would be okay. My biggest complaint, and this is more of an infinite complaint than anything, the radar does not do a very good job of telling you if the opponent's above or below you. In my opinion, I know it does, but in the heat of battle, it's not very clear. I mean, it's easy to tell when somebody's on the same level as you, but the other determinations are kind of vague. So it's easy to miss.
Yeah.
I kind of liked Reach where it had the little arrow. That worked really good.
You mean the changing icons?
Yeah.
That would be a nice little addition to the radar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's one of those things where that gives too much information.
Like I said.
But
from the beginning, and this is the last I'll say about this, from the beginning, I've always felt that the radar or motion detector, let's get it correct because it is a motion detector, is too small as far as its range. With Infinite's movement mechanics, it is too small. The range is just too small.
I feel I feel for arena and squad, it fits well. For a big team, yes, I feel like it's a bit small. I feel like for a big team, they should make it a little bit bigger.
Or
they could make
this
it a little bit
is
better.
me, but I tend to get people coming out of nowhere. Like I'm looking at my at my motion tracker, and I don't see them until they're already on me. Like I said, just the movement speed in Infinite, that should be a larger range.
It do be like that sometimes.
My opinion, anyway.
No, it's a valid opinion. It's a valid opinion. So, objective, I feel like that map just does not play that great. I mean, it's a very cool looking map. Definitely has the Delta Halo vibes on it. But Forbidden for me, it's just not like as a Slayer map, it's okay. I think for an objective map, it falls short. I'm not a huge fan of that one for me personally. In other news, we've got a community spotlight out for November. So head on over to Halo Waypoint and check that out. We've got a new little audiobook type thing. This is a short form Halo Saturn devouring his son. I haven't listened to it yet. I think it's just it's like a little small excerpt type thing. It's about a 30-minute audiobook read, and there's a PDF on it. I forget what do they call these? Because they released 2 other ones of these, didn't they, last year or earlier on?
Yeah,
I forget what they call these. So I believe it is narrated by Haruspis on the YouTube audiobook part of it. And the PDF is also available from Halo Waypoint. Little short story before the next book comes out next year. And before I get behind even more. Yeah.
I need to catch up.
I beat you to it.
You really need to catch up.
I know. I'm 80% of the way through the Reach one, Shadows of Reach.
Okay.
I'm close. They're getting close to the lab, or where the lab is supposed to be. That's where I'm at in the book.
To the lab or to the or to the facility?
Well, the facility, which I'm assuming
Okay.
was the lab. The facility, though. Yes. Anyways, so that's what we really wanted to talk about tonight, was just the extraction and the maps, since we kind of briefly touched on it last time. Actually dive into that bit of the content. For those that have been playing Halo Infinite, there was the Big Team Battle Infection Mode workshop, and 343 is taking feedback from it. So if you head on over to their social media, they posted a little QR code survey that you can scan with your phone, take you to the survey, and answer some questions about what you thought about the playlist if you actually played it. Also, on November 9th, Halo 2 turned 19 years old. It's almost been 20 years. Next year will be 20 years for Halo 2. That's
2 more years and it can drink.
Yeah. Halo CE can already drink.
It can die for our country, but it can't drink a beer. Yes.
Right. In celebration of Halo 2, there was lots of posts about Halo 2 a couple days ago. People saying happy birthday, people posting artwork. Max Hoberman did another little behind the studio dump about what it was like to ship Halo 2. He talked about some of the matchmaking stuff, since that was his bread and butter. So there's a whole Twitter thread on that over there. Marty O'Donnell was talking about some stories behind the sound booth and everything there. Halo 2 is definitely a fond memory in a lot of people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And also this past week, 343 added to the store the Combat Evolved Mark V bundle. And you best believe it, I bought it.
You're not the only one.
It's the second thing I've bought from the store. The first one was the Halo. the little Halo effect.
343 is turning a profit on that one, that's for sure. Because I've seen probably 24 people wearing it.
It's a popular one.
I'm like,
I've seen a lot of social media posts point out the fact that it costs more to buy that armor than it does to buy Halo CE in the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that's beside the point.
That's the market, folks. Like, I get that hardcore Halo fans hate the free-to-play system and the microtransactions and everything. That's how gamers pay. That's what makes the money.
Yeah.
And this just proves it.
Well, they figured out that they can make more money on a free-to-play game than they can by charging you for it. Because it's not a one-time purchase. Yeah, okay, yeah.
A whole bunch of...
They made some serious bank on Halo 2 and Halo 3, $60, one-time charge plus the add-ons.
Yep.
You know, once a year you get a map pack, twice a year you get a map pack. It doesn't even hold a candle to what the free-to-play model is giving them.
I've spent over $100 on Pokemon Go, but I've been playing Pokemon Go for over 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's just one of the things, like, I'm investing time into it. I'm going to drop $1 every once in a while.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, even in Halo 5, I did buy some stuff, but it was stuff that didn't really affect the game. You know, I bought the Voices of War pack. I bought the classic Halo helmets, stuff like that. I never bought gold packs or the platinum packs or any of that. I never paid money for any of that stuff.
Right.
You know, I only paid money for like 2 or 3 packs, and that was just because it was stuff that you couldn't unlock through the regular system.
Mm-hmm.
In Infinite, I've spent money on the battle pass, and that's it. And I've only done that twice. Ever since then, I complete my battle pass and I buy the next one.
Same.
And I don't have a problem with the way they've done it. I don't have a problem with the store. Prices are too expensive for the volume they're doing.
Yep.
But there are certain things that should still be unlockable by playing the game. Like the current Master Chief armor should be a campaign challenge completion give.
Yeah, I wish it was.
Not a multiplayer rank reward.
I mean, I'm happy for the folks that have gotten Hero, and it's actually urged me to play more Infinite. Finally
Yeah.
got my gold rank in my career
Yeah,
rank,
but
because
it's
I'm
going to take me, probably going to take me a freaking year to get to that.
according to, what is it, Spartan Record? Yeah, SpartanRecord.com. They actually have a little tracker, and you can, it guesstimates how many games you need to play in order to get
Mm-hmm.
to a certain rank. According to it, I need another 6,461 games completed to hit hero rank.
So that means that with the way I play,
60,000 hours.
that's like 12,000 games.
Let's see.
Don't get me wrong. I love playing Infinite. I don't like playing Infinite that much.
Godzilla?
I have a lot of other things to do, like, buy groceries.
So you're currently silver, major 1.
Mm-hmm.
To reach your rank, it says you need 7,317 games.
Yeah, sure. I believe that. See,
Anyways.
the deal with me is, I'll go on a hot streak and then I go dead cold. It's like the first couple of games a night, I'm usually pretty decent. And then after that, it just...
Apparently you have exactly 11,000 deaths in Halo Infinite.
11,000. How many kills?
10,034.
See? I go backwards.
But you have a higher win rate. Hey, G. Lewis. And Bobby's here now, too.
That's totally dependent on my teammates.
Time played 7 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes. That's
my wins are totally on the shoulders of my teammates. I make a good distraction. That's about it.
Oh, look at distraction. I mean, to be fair, I'm also more negative in deaths linked to kills.
Yeah.
My win rate's only slightly higher. My accuracy's a bit higher. I've played 5 hours more than you have, apparently.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, 6,000 more games. And I've been doing Husky Raid because I just get a crap ton of points that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because of how chaotic it is, you just get a whole lot of points racking up more quickly. Mint Blitz put a video out saying, and I'm guessing this is accurate, but apparently for a big team, you get a 1.8 times multiplier for any points going to your career rank. But because of how slow some of the big team stuff is, just to grind out stuff, Husky Raid is, I think, going to be faster for me.
Yeah. Like I said.
So yes, Julius, there is a meta for getting XP. I would love to have
Master Chief's armor, but honestly, I'm not going to wear it because I like George's armor better. I've always, ever since they've introduced George's armor, I've enjoyed wearing that.
It's a good one. Don't get me wrong, but
I just wish that if I put George's armor on, I could show my emblem. Eventually, they'll fix that, I hope.
They fixed it for the Master Chief armor from Halo Infinite, so...
Yeah. Like I said, my emblem still doesn't show.
Have you opened a support ticket about it?
Why? It doesn't show on any armor.
Your emblem doesn't show on any armor?
They've set, the ones they say it does. Like the armor sets, I haven't checked recently. I know as of last night, my emblem still wasn't on my armor. I haven't checked the set yet, though.
Maybe that's weird. I don't know if it's worth opening a ticket, but emblems are supposed to be on armors, I feel like.
Yeah, they are. And it's been that way ever since they launched the game. They will not show up on any of the preset sets, like George or Carter or any of those.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Matter of fact, I think the only one the only other one I've traded on is the basic recruit armor that you get with the game. I haven't played with it.
Okay.
I honestly haven't even played with it in probably a year or so. Maybe they fixed it and I just don't know it yet.
That's a good question to ask. Okay. In a way, I guess that makes sense, but that's still very unfortunate.
Yeah, I just don't think any of them armor should not display your emblem for any reason.
I agree.
Of course, granted, never mind.
I agree.
Like I said, I've got gripes about Infinite, but they're nothing that keep me from playing it. About the only thing that keeps me from playing it nowadays is life.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when you get home from work and you're too tired to play video games.
I get it. Especially with a kid. It's even less time now.
Mm-hmm. I have a kid. She's about 90 pounds and 4 feet. Trust me, it's like constantly having a 2-year-old. I can't wait for her to get old so she'll slow down. Unfortunately, I got like 4 more years before that'll happen. Oh, I love my puppy. She's just a little.
That's good. What else do we have to wrap up for this thing? Oh, yeah. So, as part of the whole Mountain Dew thing that's out there, there's the Halo Refueled playlist event that's happening pretty soon. They posted this 2 days ago. 64 teams sign up. Halo 3 Refueled map pool, $25,000 prize pool, giveaways and drops. Oh, tournaments is next weekend, November 16th. Currently 39 teams registered. So, Halo 3 and Halo Infinite, it's out there. We've also got, mentioned the community spotlight. There was the Forge features. Going through all my tabs, see if there's anything else. I think that was it. We got a few more Halo birthdays coming up next week as well. Halo 2 is a couple days ago, but we've got Halo CE on the 14th. We've got Halo 4 on, that was actually a few days ago, November 6th. That one turned 11. And I think that's it, right? It's just Halo CE, Halo...
Yeah, because
2 and Halo 4.
September.
Yeah, and ODST was an October thing. 3 was September. Halo 5 was October 27th. So yeah, we got Halo CE coming up next week.
So are we counting the free preview or when it actually launched?
Counting the actual launch. not the incubation period. Now I think I saw something else. Microsoft turns 40, I think, or was it Windows?
It'd have to be Windows because Microsoft is older than I am, and I know that. Maybe not by much, but
I was thinking something 40 year Microsoft something. So Windows was released November 20th, 1985.
Windows, which version of Windows though?
Probably Windows 3.1.
Okay.
MS-DOS 2.0 released in 1983.
Okay, I guess not.
There's something I saw in the news about Microsoft
like
40 or something.
Early 70s. Not when Windows launched, but when Microsoft started. Maybe not.
When was Microsoft founded? April 4th, 1975. I don't know. I saw something Microsoft in 40 year.
Yeah.
And there's a whole Xbox thing happening next week as well. I didn't have time to check into all of the details before the podcast tonight, so running on scant detail there. But that'll wrap it up for us tonight, I think. So thank you, G. Lewis and Bobby, for hopping on in here at the end of the podcast.
Glad to see you could make it.
Yeah. We'll be back. I'm not sure if we're doing next Saturday or not. Probably not, because my parents will be in town. They're in town for Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving. So no podcast, I think, next week. The week after, we'll probably be back for the podcast, unless we're all stuffed filled with turkey and food hangovers, since it's going to be Thanksgiving week here in the U.S. So might be a couple weeks before we see you all again, but we will be playing plenty of Halo for sure. In the meantime, we are streaming that, so we still have Friday nights hosted by GT, Frag Friday That's on Infinite primarily. We might try to do Cursed Halo. We were going to do it a couple nights ago, then things didn't pan out for that. We still have about half the Cursed Halo campaign to finish. So we do want to do that. So on the Thursdays that I can actually work it around with the baby and all, we do plan on trying to complete Cursed Halo and then find another mod or fan game to play. So we'll go from there. Anything else to add, GT, before we wrap it up tonight?
Not tonight.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. See you all on Twitch next time. And thanks for listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. You can find our podcast on your favorite podcasting service and listen to us live every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. Check out our website, podtacular.com, and join the community on Discord at podtacular.com/discord. If you want to play Halo with us, come join us for Fraggin' Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Become a supporter of the show by sharing the show with your friends and family. Or help keep the lights on by subscribing to us on Twitch, donating via PayPal, or becoming a patron alongside Confal, Pins Halo, and Prestige Ace. Until next time, keep on fragging trucks.